Good morning, everybody. It's Valentine's Day 2023. Just got finished picking up some flowers for Lynn. Seemed like a good time to get out in the woods here, post another video. But before I do, happy Valentine's Day to you. You're awesome. I hope you know that. So, without further ado, let's jump into it here. Wanted to go through the 6 things that I am no longer going to be carrying in my backpack in 2023. So these are things that I'm either giving up because they're too heavy or I just don't need them anymore. So first up on the chopping block, in no particular order, is my Nock Vecto. It's a great piece of gear. I've used it for many years, but I realize I just don't need another item for filtering water. I have 2 water bottles. One I can put the water filter on top, put dirty water in this, can drink out of it if I need to, and then I can filter it into a clean bottle. I just don't need another item to carry around with me that takes up extra space. Also, I've found that this guy right here tends to leak just a little bit, so I don't really trust putting it in my pack anymore. So yeah, it's not going with me anymore. It might get, cycled back in if I ever need to carry 4 liters of water for whatever reason, but not here in the Pacific Northwest. It's not really something that I need to do. Up next at number 2 is my X mug. It's a shame. I really like this thing. It's cool. It's one of the first pieces of gear that I got once I really started getting into backpacking. And, it's great. You can cook water, boil water to cook with, and then you can have a separate cup of coffee while you're doing it or whatever. But honestly, I am just as happy just drinking straight out of my pot at this point. So this is another one. It might get cycled back into the rotation, maybe like during winter, if I'm, want to be as efficient as possible. Use one boil to do my food and, coffee or tea or whatever. But up until then, it's gone. Up next at number 3, number 4, which one are we on now? Number 3, I think it's number 3. Number 3 of things I'm no longer carrying in my pack is gonna be stuff sacks. So specifically stuff sacks for everything. So I don't need one for my tent. I don't need one for my sleeping bag. I'll have a couple that I'll carry with me. One's just gonna be my wallet here so that my credit cards aren't flying around in my pack. And 2, my food bag, obviously, so that I can string it up, keep critters away and that kind of thing. Other than that though, no more stuff sacks. I'm gonna be using Nyla Flume bags, which work really well. Noisy as though. I'm going to be using those and then maybe some compactor bags if I need them. But overall, I really like being organized. I absolutely hate wasted space. So the 4th thing that I'm going to be getting rid of here is my ass pad. Look, again, it's great. It's comfortable. It keeps my butt warm. But really, I'm more than happy just to sit on the ground or a rock or a stump or something like that. Also, it takes up a ton of space. Like, I hate putting it in the front of my pack. I feel like I have to jam everything else in there to make it work. And really, I just don't feel like carrying it around anymore. It annoys me more than it brings comfort into my life. So I'm ready to get rid of it. Sun came out. The 5th thing that I'm going to be getting rid of here is line locks. I'm sick of having line locks on all my shelters. So my flat tarps actually don't have them. I ordered those without line locks just because I normally don't use them, but I'll be removing them from the Duomid at some point here as well. As of right now, I'm just going to tie lines onto it and then just make sure that it works well before I actually cut the line locks off of the shelter. But honestly, I like using knots more. I think that they're more secure. I find it easier to use, and you can use any kind of line that you want. You're not stuck with like a 2.2 or whatever the line locks are made for. It just makes my life easier just to use the knots instead. And the last piece of gear that I'm gonna be ditching in 2023 is this guy, a knife. I know everybody says you should be going out with a knife when you're in the backcountry. Honestly, what am I gonna do with this? I'm not gonna use this to fend off a mountain lion or bandits or whatever. It's very small. Realistically, this is gonna be replaced by either a smaller knife. So I might go with like a Victorinox Classic or something like that, because at least it's got some scissors on it. Or I might go the Adventure Allen route and just take some kids like school scissors. Honestly, they're more functional. I never use this thing. Occasionally I need to cut something and scissors would do just as well, and they weigh less. So yeah, I'm done carrying a knife, at least for now. And that's it. That's all the things that I'm not going to be carrying going into 2023 that I used to. Be sure to follow along for my trip videos and things like that, so you can see when I inevitably regret not having a knife, an ass pad, or a cup. See ya.